All right, boys, buckle up. Oh, it's game time. We got the whole student loan uh, situation. We're going to do a part two. We're going to use a lot of you guys' comments if you're new here. We're going to have a good time, okay? Let's have some fun here, and let's see what we got.
You borrowed money from somebody else. You promised to pay it back, or default and suffer the consequences. Remember this, it's the politicians that make everything political. I'm an economist. I'm not being political. Of course, you're going to hear it as political, some of you. Stop looking for handouts. That's why we're in the shit hole that we're in as a country.
I mean, I kind of agree with them, but, you know, I'm not in a student loan situation. I didn't go to college, and that is why I am a bartender slash comedian slash drug dealer. So, but I agree with them to an extent, but anyone who went to college, a lot of people were kind of forced into it, like peer pressure by their parents and society, and you don't really know what you were getting yourself into. And if you didn't catch my first video, this guy totally didn't get the message in this comment here. The first video on this, I said, the student loan epidemic, not cool. So what I meant was the loans that were completely fucked, excuse my language, but they were, that's what wasn't cool. I wasn't saying, hey, if you went to college, you're an idiot, loser. So this guy comments, he goes, not cool, question mark. I have a graduate degree with no loans. What is the difference? Will I get rewarded for paying my bills commensurate to the ones who didn't? Okay, well, apparently your common sense, there's no fixing your college did you no justice, sir, because you completely misunderstood the video. This is about people with student loan debt, not people without student loan debt. Okay, good, great. This lady had a great point, or not this lady, this dude had a great point. He goes, the majority of people going to college should not be in school. They're going to school with feelings and not knowing or the knowledge. If you did not take calculus in high school, the points couldn't. Basically, what he's saying is most people just went to school with no actual idea of what they were even going to school for. Like, look at this chick, real quick. Just soak this in. Guys, pay attention. $300 in student loan debt from an art school. Who the fuck taught you how to paint? Like the ghost of Ernest Hemingway teach you how to paint? Michelangelo's, what did he come back? Did he come to the future to teach you how to paint? I don't understand $300,000 for art school. It's like this makes more sense. This chick says $300,000 in student loan debt, but she's a doctor. Yes. I mean, I don't know what kind of doctor she is with the septum ring. No judgment. Okay, a little bit of judgment. You know, I wouldn't let her be my doctor, you know, with that. But the point is if you have $300K in student loans, forget it.
And I'm not this is not a joking play like type of situation.
And that's what we're not going to do. We're not going to not pay our student loans back. And I'm going to tell you why with a personal anecdote. And you are going to listen because I don't make TikToks and I'm just here to try to save a fucking life. All right.
What happens if you don't?
All right. So, you know, a lot of people are just saying fuck it and they're not paying their student loans, which I kind of get, especially if you just got screwed over and you really didn't know what you were signing. But this dude, his name is Michael Bordenero. He's one of the few YouTubers I actually watch on a daily basis. He's like a real guy who like doesn't put on like some kind of show, like a pretend, like, you know, when you're out to dinner and the waiter's like, hey everybody, my name's John and I'm going to be taking care of you. You know, I hate that kind of YouTube shit. So this is a perfect guy for this. This is what happens if you don't pay your student loans.
Pay your student loan bills, because this is something that a lot of people are wondering and asking now that the payments are going to resume on October 1st. What could be the consequences if they don't pay? I covered a while ago how there's different people out there, there's different groups that are flat out refusing to pay. They're just going to default, they don't care about their credit, and they're just going to say, you know, make me, essentially. So here's the deal. From October 1st of 2023 to September 30th of 2024, people have all that time to make no payments if they really need to. If you really can't afford to pay anything during this time period, then you can essentially make no payments, but you are doing yourself a disservice by doing that, because starting September 1st, which has already passed, of 2023, you have now been starting to accrue interest again, because the interest accrual has been on pause for the past year and a half. Well, not anymore. So during this time frame from October 1st, 2023 through September 30th of 2024, if you don't make any payments, there are basically no financial consequences, okay? It means that your loan will not go into default and your loans will not be considered delinquent, which in turn also means that you won't be reported to any of the credit reporting agencies for not making any payments. But before you think there's no consequences for missing a payment during this time frame, that is not the case. We already went over one of the consequences, which is that interest is going to continue to accrue. So basically, the longer you delay making payments from this point forward, the more you're going to end up owing when you finally do have to pay.
Yeah, this is like one giant credit card. I just can't believe so many people got sucked into it. It's good if you got a good degree and you're able to make money with that actual skill set, but good God. But it gets even worse. So watch this.
Payments. But there's more consequences than just that. In fact, if you don't make any payments during this time frame, you will miss out on student loan forgiveness through income-driven repayment plans.
Yeah, so basically everyone that was looking for student loan forgiveness, basically you got to make the minimum. So, you know, if you even want a chance at the forgiveness, or just say get all together, like I totally get it. If they're able to just go in your bank account, though, that's pretty screwed. All right, we got some of your guys' comments from the previous video. This one goes, I went to college for nursing, owed $64,000 in student loans. The pandemic hit. I went to travel nursing, used all the money to cover my loans. Proud to be debt free. Say I paid it, not the government. That's great. Good for you. In my country, this would be illegal and seen as buying votes with taxpayer money. Yeah, actually, you're not wrong. That's basically what it is. It's false promises. If you take out a loan, it isn't someone else's debt. If you expect them to pay it, you're a thief. Well, let's chill out with that, because remember, a lot of this was like pretty fucked up, man. Like, a lot of people really didn't know what they were getting themselves into. Like, let's just be real here. You know, I agree with you, you know, pay your bills if you borrow something, but it's not like you going to get a car and being like, I'm not making these car payments. It's like, it's a little bit different. You know, you're trying to better your life, and then you actually makes your life harder. So I have empathy for a lot of these people. Now, if you went to art school, then that's just your fucking fault. Somebody should have told you better. This one goes, we estimate you will pay $812 per month until June 2048. Holy fuck. What's the loan? Wow. Oh, that's sad. $326,000. Loser.
I'm tripping, or didn't Joe Byron say he was going to cancel all the fucking student loans when he got in office? Did I make that shit up? Because I swear that's what he said back in 2020 when we was rallying to get him in the fucking office.
Sorry, not to make a judgment call here, but this is like a gay, white, like, hood guy. That's what he sounds like. Am I tripping? I don't know.
And get that big bird out? I could have sworn he said that, and he came out the other day talking about, oh, I'm going to cancel all the loans at ITT Tech School. Well, I guess the fuck he is, because nobody went there.
Oh, this guy goes, I had to live in my truck for 2 years just to pay off my student debt. Glad it's over with. Shaking my head. Colleges don't care whether you pick a degree that will get you a job after college. They just want the money. God damn. Yeah, it's sad. It really is. This guy goes, could you imagine asking a bookie for loan forgiveness? I mean, get a broken hand or something, but at least the bookie doesn't have access to your bank account, you know, or your credit score. My son got a real degree in accounting, and he graduates in May with a job paying $80K a year. Wow, congratulations. Plus bonuses, 401k, benefits, degree in women's studies. Okay, this one goes, degrees in women's studies, art, film, Scientology. You might as well light your degree on fire. Yeah, and you know what? If you're new here, okay, this isn't just a clips channel where I just let shit roll. I'm a talker, Okay? If you like the goods, consider subscribing. But, you know, a lot of people got pressured into school. I know a lot of these people personally. I went to college for 3 months, community college, and I remember coming home and I said, Mom, let's be realistic here. Look at me. I go, you think I'm going to do anything with a fucking college degree? I just spent 7 years in summer school. I go, let's be real here, okay? You know, basically, in other words, it's like Dad owns his own business, okay? You guys didn't go to college. You know, so I got out of it, thank God. But this is fucked up right here, what this lady's got to say. This is what I mean by, like, predatory shit here.
Your student loan payment is $500 this month. Please pay us. No problem. I'm actually going to pay you $750 extra. They have no idea. If they don't click the next button correctly, I'm just going to apply this money towards the next month's interest. Sounds great. Thanks for submitting your online payment. Not so fast. I'm actually going to be applying the extra money towards the principal, and I'll show you how. When you make more than the minimum student loan payment with a private loan servicer, you're going to see two options that look like this. If you're trying to reduce the principal on your loan, you need to click the first option, apply overpayment toward account balance. If you've been choosing the second option, which is applying overpayment and advancing the due date, this option does nothing to speed up paying off your loan because interest is still accruing in the months of advanced payments.
Could you imagine, like...
U.S. government just think we're gonna...
I can't even fathom the fact... It's like, dude, I would be so fucking pissed if that's what was happening to me. Like, they make it so it's so... Everything's just so... Let's just make life more difficult. How about that? That's how we do it. This guy goes, I almost got into college. I remember sitting there going over the paperwork to sign my life away. My intuition said run, and I did. So I'm happy I did. Best decision ever. Because it takes a special kind of idiocracy to enter into the loan agreement and expect the rest of the country to pay for your lack of intelligence, lack of due diligence, and bad decision making. Yeah, I mean, I guess, but, you know, we're talking about young kids here who are 18, 17, 16, and usually their parents are making them go. So it's like, is that their fault or bad parenting? You know what I mean? Like, let's be realistic here. I don't know, man.
U.S. government just think we're gonna go back to paying student loan payments? Like what? It's gonna ruin my...
When I graduated school over 10 years ago, I was able to make one payment on my student loans and then I lost my job. I called up the bank and was like, hi.
What's up with all these, there's like some kind of weird correlation with these septum rings in college. I don't get it.
Hi, I'd like to put these loans on deferment, please. And they said, oh, you can't do that. And I said, why? So I called the financial aid office and I was like, hey, the fuck is going on? They looked into it and called me back and they were like, hey, so looks like you...
They go, hey, so it looks like you shaved half your head and you ruined your face with those nose rings and those gauge plugs in your ears, and we're going to have to double up your loans. No, I'm just kidding. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry. Whatever. It's your style. I don't get it, but...
Your loans were not student loans. They were private loans. So, yeah, no, you can't put these on deferment. Then why the fuck did I sign a bunch of paperwork saying I could put them on deferment? And the real kicker... The school was caught lying and frauding its students, and they no longer exist. You're tripping if you think I'm paying you back for that.
Yeah, I agree with her. I mean, I'm on the other side of the fence, too, where it's like, yeah, pay your loans, pay your bills, but just think about it for 1 second if that happened to you, and you're like, wait a minute. Like, you guys weren't helping me? You're actually trying to fuck me in my ass until I'm dead? So that's kind of how I look at it, too. I got a little bit of sympathy for them. Honestly, like, unless you're going to school for, like, a lawyer... doctor, medical, trade. I'd rather go to a trade school at this point. That makes more sense. It's practical. But unless you're going for like those 4 things, I got news for a lot of people, especially if you're younger. You could party without going to college. Okay? Right, guys? Anyone? I did it. I didn't go to college. I partied. Classic. The majority of people going to college should not be in school. They're going to school with the feelings of... Oh, I already read that. Okay, we're going to keep going here. This guy goes, I am screwed with student loan debt. However, the whole financial system is screwed because all the debt will never be paid back. Yeah, this is true, but it could just fuck your credit forever. That's the only bad part that sucks for you guys. First time watching, and I immediately thought this guy is a comedian. The way he sets up his punchlines is a giveaway. I do my best. Yes, I do stand-up comedy sometimes, so yes. This guy goes, bro has no clue what he's talking about. He's not talking about me. He's talking about somebody from the last video. This guy goes, I graduated from Temple University in 2009 with a bachelor's degree because I was sold on the lie like millions of other young high school graduates, only to find out that little more than a decade and paid off student loans later that a bachelor's is like having a high school diploma. You need a master's degree to be taken seriously, apparently. I make decent money as a construction estimator, but this economy has wiped out my chances of savings. Yeah, it's classic, but he said that perfectly because a lot of these kids were duped into going to school. I didn't go to college because I knew better. I knew that my life's work was going to be pouring people Bud Lights and making them martinis, okay? Bartending. No, I'm just kidding. I knew that I was going to make money doing something with my mouth because that's what I do. I'm a people's church steeples people's people, okay? I'm a communicator. That's what I do, all right? I'm going to sell you shit, but I'm also not going to rip you off. I can't be a car salesman. I'll be the worst one. I'll be like, dude, this is a total ripoff. Don't do it. I won't have any sales. But I knew that's what I was going to do. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't know what the fuck they're going to do. And they just kind of go with the flow, and then that flow turns into you having now an extra $400, $500, $700 a month payment every month, and you still don't know what the fuck you're going to do, even though you went to college. So I feel bad for a lot of these people. This is going to be the last clip here before we get into some more of your comments. But I thought this resonated with me from old Jay Peterson here.
Fault. Do you have something to say that you're not saying? If you do, then it's your fault. This is your fault. It's your problem. And you might say, well, I'm too afraid to talk. It's like, fair enough. How afraid are you not to talk? People say to me frequently, they compliment me on my bravery. And I think, you don't understand. I'm not brave. I don't like conflict. I'm way more afraid of losing control of my tongue than I am of the consequences of saying what I have to say. Because I know what happens when we allow other people to control our tongues. It's not good.
Got a little dramatic at the end, but he had a very excellent point, man. A lot of people are, especially when you're younger, even older people, man, they're afraid to actually say what they're thinking and what they really want to do. It's the truth. I'm somebody who's been a risk taker my whole life. Like, I've always done didn't go to college. I was an amateur skateboarder at one point, didn't get paid for it, but I was trying to be a pro. I've been doing stand-up comedy. I've always been doing things where a lot of people are too afraid to even take a risk at that. So when you're 16, 17, 18, and like a lot of these kids probably didn't want to go to school. They didn't know what they were going for. But, then you tell your parents, hey, I don't want to do this. And a lot of these parents, tell me if I'm tripping, okay? I know everybody's different. But a lot of parents, they hold this thing over to kids where it's like, if you go to school, we'll pay for your bills. But if you don't go to school, you're fucked. And it's like bribery, like blackmail from your parents. It's a real thing. I've seen this in action. And it is true. He's got an excellent point. Because I think half of the student loan debt is literally people that were, more than half of student loan debt is literally kids where their parents made them go to school. Or the kids were like, oh, well, if I keep going to school and I get my master's degree, the longer I stay in school, the longer my parents will pay for my apartment. So I thought that clip was good because, it sucks that a lot of us feel a certain way. I was never afraid to say what I wanted to do. But I know a lot of people that were, and they are. I'm 33. I got friends that they still haven't tried. They're working jobs they hate. They never even tried. Fuck. They've never even said it in public out loud, what they really want. So, maybe that might help you a little bit. But let's get into some more comments here. The same people that complain about being 17 and so young signing these loans are the same ones wanting to lower the voting age to 16. Yeah, it kind of makes no sense. If your college education can't help you pay your loan, you got the wrong degree. Yeah, I mean, that's literally, and most degrees are the wrong degree. Women hold almost all of the student loan debt in this country. Holy shit, because I hope it was worth it. He didn't buy into, this guy goes, I didn't buy into college and I didn't buy into a 401k. Yeah, honestly, who even knows how well the 401k is going to end up? Because college doesn't seem to be working for people. So, who would have thought? First time watching, no, this one goes, this guy goes, I went to USC. The average tuition is $84K during undergrad. Wow, $84K a year. Over 70% of students don't graduate within 4 years. Most of my friends are around $400K in debt. What the fuck? And make between 40 to 50K a year. I won't even go into my friends that went to grad school. Yeah, and a lot of those people that went to grad school, I'm telling you, from what I've noticed personally with people, they do it so that their parents, not everybody's in this situation, and don't give me that shit about first world problems, okay? I don't live in a third world country, okay? And I'm assuming most of you don't either. And third world country people, if they were to see us doing any of this, they just laugh. But I'm talking about our problems. I'm in the United States, Western countries, problems, okay? I hate when I see that. Sorry. Just had to vent. This guy goes, the problem is when they take out a loan to get a BS degree. Yeah, we've said that. This guy goes, student debt is one of the best examples of what happens when the government gets involved. Yeah, I mean, dude, they're just involved in everything. And from that dude in the very beginning of the video, when he said this is why the country's in the problem it is, it's like, nah, it's not. It's not us. Okay? Us, me and you, unless you're somebody working for the government watching this, we're not making the rules here. We're not raising all the prices. So it's not us. It's actually their fault. I blame them. This guy goes, I'm a patron now. Oh, yeah. I'm going to read that in a bit. Patreon. Good man. 1 second. And appreciate everybody. I do have a Patreon, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Nonya for the $15. Hattie Burrow for the $10. I did start a Patreon because you guys seem to like to donate money into the comments, and YouTube takes half. So if you really feel like donating, I don't expect it. But, if you got it like that, you ballin'. Come over to the Patreon. We got 7 beautiful members in there. I appreciate all of you guys. Dan, Paul, Spatty TV, Stomp the Elites, Caroline, the Hillbilly Hipster, Benita. It really means a lot, and I'm having a great time. But just you guys being here is totally cool with me. I'm having a great time. And you guys leave your thoughts on the student loan stuff. Share if you've been fucked in the ass royally, just screwed. Leave it in the comments, vent about it, let it out. But I just think it's crazy that this is where it's gone. People try to go to school because it's the right thing to do. And it turns out it's just actually screwed over a lot of people. And then the people who didn't go to school like me, we're sitting here going, oh, thank God I didn't go to school. I knew it. But then it's like, but I'm not sitting here making fun of the people who went to school. I just know myself. It's just I know a lot of people like me got stuck going to school. So that's the funniest part. And it's not even funny. It's actually sad. Anyways, good talk. God, college, right? Classic. Da-da-da.